Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Um, yeah, so I'm going to go live on the gram as well, even though this doesn't support Instagram Live. So those on Instagram, what's up? What's going on? Those here on YouTube, what is going on? Um, okay, yeah. So the title implies Pixel 6a. Google did it. And I'm going to give my reasons why I feel like that Google pretty much nailed it with the Pixel 6a. I know that there's going to be some kickback just because of some of the issues that some people are facing with the Pixel 6a, but nonetheless, the overall of the Pixel 6a pretty much just like killed it. Not in a bad way. All right, we're going to talk about LTE versus 5G phones, and it's a question that people still tend to ask, and that is, should they upgrade to a 5G phone right now? Currently, are they okay if they decide to stay on LTE? Those types of things we're going to be talking about in today's podcast, as well as a hidden one, and that's T-Mobile offering 90 days to test drive their network. And how do you get it, basically? So I'll explain all that in a nutshell. Those that watch the replay, hashtag replay crew, and let me know you guys caught it later. And I know kind of went earlier than usual on my live streams, but that's okay. And yeah, so as you know, people jump on in, feel free to say hi, say what's up. And then yes, I'm trolling Visible for the crap that they pulled on me by using their cup. If you didn't catch that video, watch that video. Had some interesting details and what you can do to protect yourself if you're on Visible on their legacy plan, and you know you've had like referrals, so you got like the $5 a month bill. Just how to protect that. So check out that video on the YouTube channel. And okay, so let me just lead off with the first one, right? Because this I just read about this morning. So let me just kind of talk about T-Mobile. How you could try out T-Mobile's network for 90 days free with their network pass is what it's called. So with that being said, T-Mobile, basically they had the test drive, which was 30 days or 30 gigs, whichever came first. You had to have an iPhone XS or newer with eSIM support to be able to test drive their network. And they've kind of bumped that now. So now they've given more on it. Basically with the network pass is what it's called. It's 90 days to try out T-Mobile. And now it's gone beyond iPhone. So now if you have an Android phone that's eSIM compatible, you can test drive the network that way. And again, 90 days, that's 3 months of T-Mobile service on their unlimited plan to test drive their network, to see if it works out great for you. I'm still on the legacy plan for Visible. What changes if I switch to the $30 plan? So I still get my discount. So, okay, kind of shifting tracks here to the Visible question there. And let me just pop the questions up. You have on the Instagram side, if you have it, see. Is May 2022 latest Pixel 3a update? It is. On the Instagram side. So that is the latest update for the Pixel 3a, I want to believe. Actually, I'll just tell you right now. Let me just grab my 3a real quick and turn it on, and I'll tell you, because it just recently got a software update, so I'll tell you what it should be on right now. As that's booting up, just give me like a minute or two. To answer your question on Visible, so the $30 plan pretty much is what the legacy plan is. There's not drastic changes. Compared to the Visible Plus plan, which is $45 a month. That one gives you international calling to specific countries. And yeah, so with the discounts, Party Pay is going away. Like, they kind of had like a misleading message on the Visible app stating that Party Pay wasn't, if you had Party Pay and you kept it, you stayed locked into it, you wouldn't lose it. Yet there's also discussions that Party Pay is going away January 2023. So that I would say you're going to lose that. So yeah, cheapest you'll probably get with referral codes is like $10 a month, because they give this, if they're still giving that $20 credit every month, then yeah, Okay, let me unlock my Pixel 3a and I'll show you what the latest version it should be on. So it's still going to be on Android 12. It didn't get Android 13 unless you unlock the bootloader and you flash a custom ROM. You can put the 3A on Android 13, but let's see. So Android 12, May 5th, 2022 should be the Android security update. That's the most current one. April 1st, 2022 for the Google Play system update. So it should, I don't know if how well you can see that. If you guys don't know, I'm streaming on Instagram as well. But yeah, that's the latest version for the Pixel 3a. And then for the visible thing, yeah. Nah, you don't have to apologize for changing the topics. Yeah, no problem. Why is Visible doing this change in the plans? So they're doing it, well, there's several reasons, right? In the beginning, before they made these changes, Visible was not using Verizon's core. That's why they had really high ping times, or basically they had bad latency in regards to speed testing. But one of the things that Visible is doing is, in a way, trying to be competitive. I always felt like that they were already competitive before these changes, right? Because you have like Boost Mobile that went ahead and did a $25 plan. That's currently happening right now, $25 unlimited, sort of. You have Metro that's trying to compete with them, right? You have all these different prepaid companies trying to compete with them. So I never really understood the decision for Visible to do this, other than the fact that they're, they want to make money. So having two plans instead of one, kind of like odd. I just don't understand why they went ahead and I can kind of explain it to this extent. So Visible, their original main plan was $40, right? And the Visible Plus plan is $45. So to try to get like their basic plan to have somewhat of, value, like a look of value, they made the base plan $30. But with all the discounts that they were giving on the legacy plan, right? So like if you joined a party that had 4 or more, then your bill would be discounted by $15. So you would only be paying $25, right? So if they were to keep that with the $30 plan, discounting it would make the plan $15. And so, they're not really making money on that, kind of doing that. So I can kind of see why they did away with Party Pay, which kind of sucks because that was like their unorthodox family plan to get savings. And like I said in my video, what happened in regards to that, basically they try to double charge because their systems is really screwed up now that they're doing these plan changes. Was it Lawrence from Chanel 808 Hawaii Life? Shout out to him. Sent me a screenshot when he switched over from the legacy to the new plan. He got a prorated charge for making the plan change. Obviously, changing in the middle of your bill cycle, I guess, is why he got the prorated charges, and the difference was charged to him. So that's some things that you need to know about when it comes to Visible. It's just if you are making the change from the legacy plan over to the either the $30 or $45 plan, you are going to have a prorated charge. So just be on the lookout for that. What Visible did to me that kind of pissed me off. I mean, they had a bad rep with me already. I mean, I know why they did it, and that's just because they wanted me to actually pay a phone bill. For the Instagram side, you guys probably don't know the story, so I'll share it with you. Everyone on YouTube pretty much knows this already because I've talked about this before. But when Visible approached me, I think it was in 2018, they wanted me and several other content creators on YouTube to kind of review their services. And so they gave us 1 month free. All we had to do was just have like a compatible phone, which at the time I had the Pixel 3a as my main driver. So they sent me out a SIM card for it. During that month, they were also about to uncap their data, where there was going to be no cap. So downlinks were going to be as high as you can get in your area, depending on your tower. And so yeah, there was a lot going on. I mean, like I said, I'm drinking from their cup. They sent me a swag box full of like a shirt, cup, and all kinds of other goodies and stuff like that, just for checking out their services. Now during that time, my videos got a lot of play on YouTube. So I had referral codes or a referral code that a lot of people use to sign up for Visible and try them out. And it was like $20 per referral. So in a nutshell, I literally raised probably about almost $700 in credit. And so every month, basically, those credits was paying my phone bill. And I went an entire year and a half, almost 2 years, without paying a single bill on Visible because of all those credits earned. And I was already down to, I think, like $200 and something in credit. Visible decided, like, you know, they couldn't let me keep having free phone service. So they ended up basically canceling my account without me even knowing. And the only way I found out was I got an email that said, "Hey, we're sorry to see you go." And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not going anywhere. So when I logged into my Visible app, my account was fully closed and number was lost and everything. And reaching out to their chat support, they were like, they can reinstate my account. I would have to pay X amount of dollars to get it reinstated. And I'm like, wait, what, you know, what's going on? You know? So I was kind of mad because they didn't only do it to me, they did it to several other people who reviewed their services and ended up getting the same benefits as me based upon people watching their videos and using their referral code. There are a lot of people who had Visible and amassed a huge amount of credit and wasn't paying a Visible phone bill for a while. Visible shut their accounts down. So I was already kind of like, that left a bad taste in my mouth with Visible. This most recent one, family member, I had, like when I was testing Visible this past month, I had used a family member's referral code, which discounted their bill to $5 only, right? So their bill was due on the 28th and they totally forgot. They forgot to pay their bill. So on the 29th that morning, they logged into the Visible app. They clicked pay now. Now with Visible, you can't edit how much you're going to pay on your bill. It doesn't allow you to change the amount. Whatever the amount shows is the amount you pay, right? So it showed $5 because that's what that family member's bill should have been since I used their referral code and signed up. So they paid their $5, came out of the bank account. So we checked. Services would not reinstate. So we ended up chatting with the Visible rep. They were like, okay, it shows here that you owe $25. We're like, why would we owe $25? That doesn't make sense. We just paid $5 to reinstate the service. That's what her bill was. They wanted to continue to argue and say, what does your Visible app says? Well, of course, I don't control the Visible app. So how to, you know, it's going to say whatever it reflects. And it was funny because in the Visible app, which that member has screenshots, so I'll probably post it on Gram later on so people can see. It did say that that family member owed $25 to reinstate their service, but it said that they were late as of February 23rd, 2022. We were in August. We're in September now. So that was like a big red flag, like, hey, your system's totally whack. But rather than them say, okay, you know what, this is what you said, you have screenshots, because my family member had a screenshot of everything. And they were like, oh, send it to the Twitter DM because you can't post pictures in the Visible chat. So when you're chatting with the rep, you can't, that's what sucks, right? That would have been cool if you can, because then you could have posted like a screenshot, you could have posted a screen record so they can see what's on your device, but they don't do that. So anyways, they didn't want to argue the point, and I was like, you know what, we're not going to argue over $25 or whatever, whatnot, you know? So that person decided they're just going to leave Visible. It's not worth arguing over $25 or anything like that. And then at the same time too, there's principles to this, right? It's not a huge amount, and thank God it's not a huge amount of money, right? But when you already pay for something and then they want to charge you more, there's principles behind that. If you pay it, you're letting them know it's okay for them to do that, and they'll do it to other people. Yeah, so they left Visible. Visible lost a customer. No big deal to them because they got thousands and thousands of customers, so they're still gonna do what they're gonna do. But said person doesn't have to deal with that type of fuckery. Let's just call it for what it is. And yeah, so I made a video letting other people know what they should do to kind of protect themselves, so that way they don't get screwed over. because there are some people who use Visible, and we can judge on so many levels, but we don't know what walks of life people go through. That's mainly my mentality. So just it's pretty much that. I like when they did $5 a month deal. Yeah, well that's going away. So Visible now will be like every other carrier. Yes, Visible will be like every other prepaid carrier. Yeah, so that was Visible in a nutshell. So kind of like going back to the T-Mobile 90 days trial free. Like I stated, just kind of let everyone know. So right now, if you download the T-Mobile app on your phone, whether it's an Android device or iPhone, it just needs to have eSIM compatibility. If you download the T-Mobile app and you launch the T-Mobile app, even though you don't have T-Mobile service, you'll see the very first thing it tells you is that the network pass is coming. It's 90 days of T-Mobile service free. There's no cap on it like the previous one, the test drive, which test drive was 30 days or 30 gigs. T-Mobile is not capping anything. So it's just 3 months free service, test out their network. And if you decide to make the jump at the end of the 90 days, everything is done through the T-Mobile app. So through there, I guess, once your trial is almost over, you will have the option to input all your credentials to port your number over from whatever port your number over from whatever carrier you're using. And yeah, they try to make it as seamless as possible. This coming from T-Mobile, who's doing T-Mobile's good and bad. There are good things about T-Mobile. There are bad things about T-Mobile, right? The most recent that people are talking about is, again, layoffs. People getting let go from the company, which is bad because that's a broken promise of the Sprint T-Mobile merger deal. They weren't supposed to be letting people go. They were supposed to be creating more jobs. So, it's sad to know that. However, so this is going to be something kind of crazy. I'm sticking with text now for a while. Hope they don't start charging. As a matter of fact, you can stick with text now and you can test drive T-Mobile's network if you have a phone that's eSIM compatible. So I'm going to say some of the Samsung devices that have eSIM, the Pixel devices that have eSIM, and iPhones 10s and up that have eSIM are going to be compatible to take advantage of this offering to test drive, T-Mobile's network if you haven't. Now it's a limited one trial, right? So if let's say I use my Pixel 6 and I try out the T-Mobile network for 90 days, there's no way that I could do another 90 days with this phone. The IMEI is going to be cataloged that it's used it. And so if I try again, it's going to tell me that I need to subscribe to their services. And that's another thing too, is you got to be careful when people sell you a phone. If you buy a phone like on OfferUp or other online sources like Swappa, and you try to do the T-Mobile test drive or the network pass is what it's called now, that could have been used on there already. So if you try to do it and it tells you that this IMEI's used it before, subscribe to a service plan. Yeah. So just so you guys know. So I think that's actually pretty cool. 90 days. That's a good length of time to test drive T-Mobile's network to see how well T-Mobile is in your city. Because there are things that people got to understand when it comes to not mobile technology, but the telecom industry. There's things that people got to understand. Where it works in one place, it's not going to work identically in another place. There are places in this country where T-Mobile service is better. There are places where AT&T is going to service better. There's places where Verizon is going to service better. And if you look at Dish Wireless's actual postpaid service, Boost Infinite, that is actually utilizing T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, I believe. So they're kind of doing something a little bit different, right? You just got to know if T-Mobile works great in your area. If Mint Mobile doesn't work, if Metro by T-Mobile doesn't work, if Google Fi doesn't work, T-Mobile is not going to work because that is the network that those MVNOs piggyback off of. Unless you're in the Midwest and you're mostly connecting to U.S. Cellular, but more than likely you're connecting to T-Mobile. And why would T-Mobile do something like this currently at this time? Well, it makes sense with the big announcement of T-Mobile partnering up with Starlink to provide like services in rural America, places where there's no towers for you to connect your phone to. You'll be able to connect to one of the satellites, be able to at least send a text message for now until they upgrade capacity for that. And then in the future, you may be able to live stream on Facebook or Instagram out in the middle of nowhere. It's just the type of antenna that we have in our smartphones, and all those things have to be upgraded in time. But this is a step in the right direction, and this is supposed to launch on T-Mobile in 2020, by the end of 2023, actually. So it kind of makes sense why T-Mobile is starting to do these little things, because while there are some practices that the company T-Mobile does wrong, there are other things that they do that are beneficial to customers. This is one of them. Giving you 90 days of service without charge, not a single charge, to try out their network. I mean, I can already think about it right now. There's going to be people that are within the tech space community that's going to go ahead and grab this because it's 90 days of free service. So it's 90 days. Who wouldn't want to take advantage of it, right? So even like myself, like I am going to grab the service. Who's not going to try it? It's 90 days free. All you need is just an eSIM compatible phone. That's how they're doing it. So, and most people rock iPhones. So hey, U.S. Cellular is big in your state. Yeah. What's up, Latrell? Good morning to you, sir. The 90-day trial doesn't require to input a debit card. I don't know because I haven't signed up for it yet. Right now, if you download the T-Mobile app on your phone and you look at it, it tells you coming soon. It doesn't yet for you to start registering. I would think it would if they wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to switch, because that is one of the other things, like I said. If you're happy with the T-Mobile service and you want to move your phone number over, you will be able to set up the port request through the T-Mobile app. So everything's going to be done through the T-Mobile app. You're gonna sign up for the trial, for the 90-day trial, and then you're going to, if you're ready to port over, you're going to put in all your credentials for a port request, which is going to be your account number, your account PIN, and the mobile number that you're wanting to bring from whatever carrier you're on. If you're already on T-Mobile, don't try to port in your number, please, because that's just like, what the hell? It's already with T-Mobile. I'm laughing, and somebody might be like, who would be dumb enough to do it? There's people who's dumb enough to do it, okay? I'm sorry. I'll call a spade. But yeah, if you're on any, and if it's already on T-Mobile, you're not porting anything over. It's already on T-Mobile. So let's see. I'm going to do that today just for the free plan and data usage. Yeah. I mean, Ed, why not, right? Try it out. It doesn't matter, It doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world or you don't. It's free service. Who's going to pass on that? And T-Mobile knows what they're doing, because getting a bunch of people to rush over and try their network, they know a good percentage is going to end up switching over. Especially with that connection for that's coming up in the end of 2023, which is T-Mobile and Starlink linking up, working together in tandem. How about Galaxy watches? How about them? By the way, for those that are joining in on the YouTube side, if you're wondering why I'm looking to my right and talking, I'm live on Instagram as well. I figured, why not? But of course, Restream doesn't have a link for you to bond Instagram into your live stream. You can do Facebook, you can't do Instagram. So you got to do Instagram from a phone. So they're both set up that way. Which kind of sucks though, because the audio quality using this microphone right here only goes on the YouTube side. On the Instagram side, it's just going to be the native microphone on the phone. But hopefully it sounds decent. I'm broke. Anything is free as a student in the university is good to me. Right. And college ain't cheap. So no one's judging, man. And if someone judges, they get the boot. So yeah, to kind of wrap that story up, yeah, if you want to give it a shot, just download the T-Mobile app. And again, now it's open to both iPhones and Android, so long as they have eSIM support. So you can check on the T-Mobile's website to see if eSIM is supported with your particular device. But I would have likely assumed that the Galaxy S series, I want to say maybe the S20s or the S10s, may be supported. I'm not saying for sure. So again, like I said, check the website to make sure that your Samsung device is supported. And oh, can you use it, or is it only for phones? Only for phones. So you wouldn't be able to get like a Galaxy Watch. And you know what? That's a very good question, because it says phones. It doesn't say that other IoTs can be used. So if you want to try and give it a shot on your Galaxy Watch and see if it does it, I mean, hey, never hurts to try. You'll never know unless you actually try. But no. So I don't want to say no to the Galaxy Watches, because if someone actually does it and is like, yo, I got the network pass from T-Mobile on my Galaxy Watch, then it works. And then you know what? You can let people on social media know that it's working for you. And a lot of other people out there who's curious about that is actually. So yeah, well, I would say give it a shot. You have nothing to lose there. I would say that the only hurdle you'll have, well, no, because if you download the T-Mobile app on your smartphone, and see, I don't know if it's going to grab the IMEI for your SIM slot directly through the app to your phone, or if you have to input that information in. So you'll find out. Just try it out on the T-Mobile app. Like I said, never hurts to try. All right, switching tracks. Pixel 6a. Or let's talk LTE 5G phones first, and we'll save the Pixel 6a for the end of the podcast. And that's a question that is still asked today. Now, this is not specifically for the tech nerd community. I know you guys know what 5G is. I know that y'all know the different types of 5G, the spectrum, the band names, the band signals, which ones are aggregated, which ones are not. You guys know that, right? But for the non-nerd, the non-geek, the non-techie that is on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok, you know, they don't know much about it. They know 5G is there. They know that you'll see an indicator on your smartphone that says 5G. They know that it's supposed to be faster speeds than LTE, and that's all they really know. Like they don't know what C-band is to that degree. They don't know what carrier aggregation is. They don't know what, millimeter wave. They don't know that there's a difference between T-Mobile's mid-band and Verizon's mid-band and AT&T's mid-band 5G. They don't know that stuff. But the one thing that they do know is that they have a device. It's still capable. It still functions. It's an LTE only device. And they want to know if they got to make that switch, if they have to make that switch over to 5G. This is what I've been telling people who ask me. That is that if you want a future-proof phone and you're ready, make the switch. But you don't have to abandon your phone. Like if you like for instance, I have a Pixel 4. I like using my Pixel 4. It's LTE only, so it doesn't support 5G at all. And it's still a good experience whether I have it activated on Google Fi or have it activated on Metro by T-Mobile, or if I have it activated, well, no, I can't activate it on Boost Mobile because Boost Mobile is very picky. So the only two phones that I can really put on my Boost Mobile line is my Pixel 6 or my Pixel 5. But the Pixel 4 is LTE only, and it works great. Well, first of all, where I live at, T-Mobile has decent coverage. There's places that people post speed tests, and they get phenomenally better connection than I do. I'm currently watching on the Pixel 6a. But they get better connection where they're at compared to where I'm at. But here, T-Mobile still does pretty good too. Average on the LTE side, average of my data speeds, I would say is 80 by 30. So sometimes it hits 100 megabits per second. But usually it tops out about 80, like mid 80s. And then the uplink is about 30 to 40 megabits per second. And that's on LTE only. Now, devices that I have that are 5G capable that support N41 and N71, Those devices see speeds anywhere between 250 megabits per second to 512 megabits per second on the downlink, and about 60 to 100 megabits per second on the uplink. It just depends on the time of day, where I'm at, and if the area is congested. So T-Mobile does very good, but Arizona has always been a Sprint market area. So with T-Mobile's acquisition of Sprint, gained this area. Also invisible. That's funny. That's absolutely funny. So I would say this to anybody out there. You don't have to, okay? You'll see a lot of different tech creators and stuff like that say that you should, or what are you doing on an LTE device? Don't take that to heart. Everybody uses their phones differently, and everyone's needs are different, right? A techie, a geek, such as myself, any of my friends here on the live stream, on the YouTube side, anyone that's popped in here on the Instagram side that's watching. If you're a geek or nerd, obviously 5G is important to you. You know what 5G can do. I'll tell people right now what 5G is doing exactly right now. It is powering both of these live streams. Okay, my laptop is connected to my T-Mobile home internet router, and the Pixel 2 XL, which I'm live streaming to Instagram, is also connected to that Wi-Fi, and it's handling both live streams fairly well from what I'm seeing. No, that's what 5G can do. Is handle the load of IoTs that's connected. So that's what it can do, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have it right now. Now, when it comes to the T-Mobile home internet, the very sad thing about it is that currently right now, T-Mobile's network is not equipped to handle every home in a specific area to utilize the home internet unlimited plan. So like me, I have to be careful because right now, when the home internet made its way to Metro by T-Mobile for you to sign up for it, I signed up for it. I have the unlimited plan, $55 a month for unlimited home internet. Now in this area where I live at, it is showing not compatible because it's not compatible for another household to get T-Mobile home internet with unlimited plan. So T-Mobile now has this new plan, which is the home internet Lite, which has very low capacity in my opinion, because if you're watching Netflix, you're watching HBO Max and stuff like that, 100 gigabytes is not going to suffice. And you can upgrade it. You can upgrade your plan on the home internet Lite plans to like 200 gigs or 300 gigs. If you do 300 gigs, I think they said that your bill is going to be anywhere about like 150 to almost $200, which is pretty much what you would pay if you went to like Cox Internet or if you went to CenturyLink. So why pay that much for 300 gigs, you know? And of course, T-Mobile is expanding their network. They continuously, build out. And when they do, then anyone who is on the T-Mobile home internet Lite plan will be notified that they can switch to a full unlimited plan. So that's the good part about it. But yeah, so if I move and in the area that I move to happens to have people that already have the unlimited plan and they pretty much have that area on lock, then more than likely I'll be converted to the Lite plan, which then I will cancel my subscription to it until the unlimited plan opens back up. Because doing these podcasts and live streams and creating videos and uploading it, 100 gigs to even 300 gigs is not going to suffice, because in a month, since I've been watching the internet usage on the home internet from T-Mobile, which I got through Metro by T-Mobile, I'm using about 1.5 to 2 terabytes of data. And it's not really me. I have to thank my lovely kids, because their online gaming, man, that eats quite a bit. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Dougie? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so again, if you have a 5G, if you are interested in getting a 5G phone, doesn't hurt for you to get it. The benefits of flipping over to a 5G phone is that, that phone is future-proof. So if you're a person that doesn't upgrade every year, well, you'll have a phone that will, continuously work good for the next couple of years. If you don't feel like you need that type of downlink and uplink speeds and that LTE has always worked out great for you, then and you're not wanting to upgrade your phone is still good in your opinion, you're happy with it, there's no point in you upgrading. Because if you upgrade to something that just doesn't fit right for you, you're just going to be heavily disappointed. So that's the advice that I give. Let's touch base with the Pixel 6a and why I say that Google did it. And yeah, there's a lot going on. People pretty much talking about the Pixel 6a, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me just kind of put it in this perspective. Why I say that the Pixel 6a did it for the A series, right? Because you look at the previous A series, right? The 3A, the 4A, the 4A 5G, the 5A. They're all great phones, okay? I'm not gonna, completely undercut them because they are really good phones. The 6A, and the reason why I said that it did it is because one of the complaints about the A series, which is the mid-range Pixel phones from Google, and while they do so good, why they're great, in my opinion, like I said, it provides the Pixel experience that I would get in a Google Pixel flagship phone like the Pixel 6. You can get that same experience in something like the Pixel 5a or the Pixel 6a, which is the newest one. The 6a, you get the Tensor chip. And anyone that really understands the Tensor chip will understand because of TensorFlow. TensorFlow is Google's, it's the machine learning side of things. And with that TensorFlow, the chip utilizes on that. So when people complain about that, it's not a powerhouse like a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It wasn't built to be that. It was built to sufficiently run the things that you're going to run on it, but it also needs to, run the AI side of things, which Google Pixel phones utilize artificial intelligence a lot. That gets overlooked. With every review, whether it's a video review on YouTube or a review on a website that I read other people's perspectives about the latest Google Pixel devices. And the most recent one is the Pixel 6a, which I'll get into with the other stuff about that in a little bit. And they all say the same thing. They're mad about the 60 hertz refresh. They're mad about it. Like they've never used a phone that had 60 hertz refresh. Every smartphone before the introduction of 90 hertz to 120 hertz to 144 hertz, every phone before that was a 60 hertz. Even way back was 30, I believe. Way back. We're talking like 09, 2010. So let's get real about something. Okay. 60 hertz to me is not something that I'm going to judge a phone on. I judge phones based on user experience, and I judge phones based on what they're doing. Okay? Google closing the gap, right? Because the Apple fans, they've always touted about their SE versions, right? The SEs from Apple's iPhones, and how they are given a flagship chip, right? So like the third generation iPhone SE has what? I think, is it the A15 Bionic? I think it's the 15. It's the 15 or 14, but I'm pretty sure it's the A15. And that is Apple's latest chip before the A16 comes out. And so people would always kind of like throw that because the Pixel 5a and previous generations of the A series have used mid-range chips, right? Like the 5a, the 4a 5G uses Snapdragon 765G. The 4a uses a Snapdragon 710G, I think it was. And then the 3a used a 600 series chip from Qualcomm. So these are all mid-range processors. Low end to higher mid-range, right? Because the 765G on the Pixel 5a, the Pixel 5, and the 4a 5G, solid chip for a 700 series chip. These phones run great. They run amazing. So the 6a kind of like changes all of that by putting the Tensor chip inside of the 6a. So every bit of what you get from the Pixel 6 is going to be very similar to the 6a. more similar than any of the A series devices prior. Even though like the 5A gets Android 13 and it's smooth and it works really well, but it's not going to get entirely every bit of what the Pixel 6 can because of that tensor chip. And it's not Google's decision to use the tensor chip in the Pixel 6a to say, oh well, we have leftover chips, let's just let's not waste them. Okay, that is a good analogy because it's it cuts back on waste, cuts back on waste. Why not? But Google's main reason of doing it is for the 6a to pretty much have everything that the Pixel 6 has. I mean, they did cut corners to keep the price tag at $449. There were some things that they cut. Wireless charging, which a lot of people are talking about in their reviews as one of their complaints. It doesn't have wireless charging. I get it. There are people who just love to just lay their phone down and let it charge. Me, I'm not a person that even cares about wireless charging, just because if you don't know, doing wireless charging degrades your battery a lot faster than connecting a wired Type-C to the Type-C port on your phone and charging it by wire. If you're doing wireless charging, it's going to degrade the battery faster, and because heat degrades lithium-ion batteries, and your phone does get warm trying to wirelessly charge it. So you got to keep that in mind. So wireless charging is not a big deal, at least to me. To other people, it might be. And for that reason, if you choose not to buy a Pixel 6a, good on you. Because I'm not a person that says that you have to buy everything that everybody else is getting. You know what? Buy what you want to buy. And use what you want to use. That's the way that I call it when it comes to getting a smartphone. But the 6a shouldn't be cut down for it lacking wireless charging. Now, yes, they could have put wireless charging in it. The iPhone SE 3rd Gen has wireless charging, and it's around the same price as the Pixel 6a. The reasons for Google not doing that? Who knows? It could be something as small and what people would say would be idiotic as them not wanting to use glass on the back of the phone. Maybe they felt like going through plastic really wasn't that good for wireless charging, and they wanted to keep the body of the Pixel 6a as polycarbonate and not glass. Because yeah, it does feel like glass. A lot of people who have the 6a are saying that when you feel the back of the phone, it does kind of feel like it's glass, even though it's a shiny plastic. Google's really good at replicating what their flagship phones feel like with their mid-range devices, so you don't really feel like a huge distinguishable difference between them. That could be the reason why they didn't put wireless charging. Who knows? Of course, the 60 hertz that people are crying about. When I have phones that can support 90 hertz. Well, my Pixel 6 supports 90 hertz. I don't ever turn it on. So my Pixel 6 is running at 60 hertz, and I have no problems. I'm not dying from these scroll speeds. The Pixel 5a that I'm also using doesn't have 90 hertz refresh, and I don't feel held back. And if someone wants to say, oh, well, you've never used 90 hertz, I have a Pixel 4 that also has 90 hertz refresh. I've used it. I've seen how smooth animations and movements on the display are at 90 hertz. I think it was several years ago that, well, not several, I want to say like a couple years ago, I posted a tweet talking about playing Pokemon Go with 90 hertz refresh on and really seeing a difference between that and 60 hertz. So yes, I've seen the difference for anyone that wants to challenge that. It's just seeing the difference, and the differences doesn't outweigh what I like. And 60 hertz doesn't kill me to do that. It doesn't kill me to use 60 hertz. It doesn't. So that I think that we have gotten so spoiled by the tech companies that we kind of allow these little things that they want to use as marketing. Because you got to remember, we kind of hit that glass ceiling when it comes to mobile technology, right? The best that we have as far as what we can consider to be innovation today is foldable technology, right? The Galaxy Folds and the Flips are getting decent amount of reviews, and they're getting good coverage, not because everybody wants a foldable smartphone. It's because it's new innovative technology for a touchscreen display to be able to fold without cracking, be able to function the same as if it was a candy bar style smartphone, right? We don't have much in innovations. We can keep upgrading the cameras using 50 megapixel, 60 megapixel, 120 megapixel sensors, and that's just bump ups. There's not been real big innovation in the mobile tech industry. And so the best that they can do is find things to kind of market and kind of go around in a circle. It used to be the cameras. Okay. 2-3 years ago, it was all about cameras, right? It's all about night sight. Google Pixel launched the Pixel 3, talked about night sight. That became backwards compatible to the 2 series and the 1 series, sort of. The 2 series for sure, the 2XL and the 2. And it allowed you to take photos with really, really low light because of Google's computational photography and AI. It would be able to post, you would take a photo and post it with very little light in the room, and it show up as if like there is a medium style light to light up the room. So things like this would appear, even if this was like really dark. This and all of it, the colors, the details of all my Funko Pops right here would show in that photo. And then Apple developed their version of Night Sight, and Samsung did, and every other OEM out there started doing it, right? So it was about cameras. They can only go so far with cameras because they don't want to hit that glass ceiling for cameras. So now it's about refresh rate, and they're going to tout that. The brand new yada 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 with Android blah 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 blah, and it can do da 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 da, and it's got 120 hertz refresh. And now that's made everybody care about 90, 120, 144 hertz, the refresh rate. So much that people even went ahead and installed a custom ROM for the Pixel 6a that unlocked 90 hertz. So they basically overclocked their display. And it was like, it's a display, not a CPU. So you can do irreparable damage to your display. And everyone was like, oh, well, Google is lying to us because it supports 90 hertz. Like, the display can support 90 hertz to a degree, but if Google found it in the best interest for the phone to remain at 60 hertz in order for it to function, then they're going to cap it at 60 hertz. What up, Mario? They're going to cap it at 60 hertz. And if they cap it at 60 hertz, it's that way for a reason. So installing a custom ROM on a Pixel 6a and overclocking the refresh rate on the display while you're gaining 90 hertz refresh, you don't know what irreparable damage you're doing to that display. And a Pixel 6a display is not cheap. After talking with Asurion up the block to do a screen replacement on a Pixel 6a, it's about $275. Is what they stated currently. So you want to overclock your display, screw it up so you can pay $275 to replace your display? You can't complain because you can't say I got my Pixel 6a for $449. Now you got to add $275 on top of that. If people really wanted the 90 hertz so bad, get the Pixel 6. Get the Pixel 6. It has 90 hertz. If you want the 120 hertz, get the 6 Pro. They both went on sale recently. $499 for the Pixel 6, $649 for the Pixel 6 Pro, because they got to clear out backstock in the wake of the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro, and possibly the 7 Fold or the 7 Ultra, because people can't make up their minds. They're like, oh, we think it's a Pixel Fold, foldable Pixel. Other people are like, it's going to be a Pixel Ultra. Like, okay, what is this, Power Rangers? It's like, I can see it now. We call on Titanus and the power of the Ultra Pixel. Power Rangers. The 6A, it did, before all this humbug debacle on the refresh rate of the display, it did exactly what people wanted. People wanted the A series devices to be kind of like what Apple had with the SE. Okay, cutting corners here and there to make the phone affordable, but allowing it to perform just exactly as its flagship brethren. And the 6A did that. And if you look, like I said, and I've talked about this, I've posted a shorts on this. Business Tech Today made an entire video talking about how the Pixel 6a is not for you. And he's addressing all of us techies, geeks, nerds, Because it really isn't. It's made for the person that wants battery life. I use the Pixel 6 as my secondary device, and I also have the S22 Ultra. Nice. Good combo. I'm not a big person of Samsung, but I do like what they do and what they have. Samsung is pretty dope. What up, Ray? On the Instagram side, what's going on? But yeah, Google closed the gap. They closed the gap between their A series and their flagships. So the 6A has every bit of form and functionality that the 6 has, with some corners cut, plastic body instead of glass. At least the rails are aluminum, so that's an upgrade. I mean, yes, it's still using the same camera sensors as my Pixel 5a, right? Which I find funny because people will be like, the 6a's cameras suck, but then they've gone and posted, a year ago that the 5a has solid cameras. Well, it's the same sensor. It's the same sensor, and if people are like, well, they calibrated it differently. Maybe they calibrated it differently, but they calibrated it as far as like level balancing. The amount of light that it takes in to take that photo, the exposure, that's the same. Same camera sensor. That's why I can remember the name of the sensor, the Sony IMX363, because it's been used in the 2XL, 3, 3XL, 3A, 3AXL, 4, 4XL, 4A, 4A 5G, 5, 5A. It's been used in all those phones. So it's the same camera sensor. So it's going to do well because Google has shown they haven't made a drastic change to the camera sensors that they use until the Pixel 6. The Pixel 6 uses Samsung's 50 megapixel camera sensor for its main sensor. And then it has the ultra wide. And if you have the Pro model, then you have telephoto with that as well. So the Pixel 6 did a lot of changes. It changed the design, right? Because you had too many companies using this design, this square camera module on the back, right? There were people who really couldn't tell a difference between a Pixel 5 and an iPhone because of that square camera module. The only way you could tell, if you really know your phones, is that if it was a black inside to the square camera module, it wasn't an iPhone, because Apple made the inside area match the body of their phone. So yeah, they are very meticulous about design language like that. So that was a cool thing with Google, to switch to a different design, something very different. And what I'm noticing is, because Google isn't looked at in the same limelight as Apple is, companies like Motorola and Samsung, they're not copying this design. They're going with their own. Some are still using the square camera module. So that benefits Google, because if I walk down the street, even if I didn't have a clear case on, you would know this is a Pixel 6 because of the camera bar, which is awesome. And to make sure that the 6A didn't fall away, they gave it that same exact design. Yeah, the camera visor is a little bit smaller, well, thinner. It's not as wide or as thick as the 6 and 6 Pro, and it doesn't protrude out of the body that much. So you get very, 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 very tiny protrusion. I mean, there are people who reviewed it that said that they can't even hold the phone and use their finger to brace the phone under the camera bar like you can on a Pixel 6. Your finger would just immediately slip over onto the camera bar on the Pixel 6a. The point is that in every aspect that they've done before with an A series device, to make it very similar to its flagship partner, like the 3A to the 3, the 4A to the 4, the 5A to the 5, they continue that same trend. You have the Pixel experience within Android 13, so you're not missing out. But compared to the previous versions of the A series, the 6A has Tensor. So every little bit of goodness that you're going to get with the 6 or 6 Pro, you're going to get that with the 6A. Why am I getting of course, I'm getting notifications because I have it on. But you're going to get all the goodness of the 6A from what the 6 and 6 Pro offer. It's very minor differences, very minor differences. No telephoto on either the 6 or 6A, but telephotos on the 6 Pro. Size of the display. Wireless charging. Yeah, wireless charging on the 6 and the 6 Pro. And just think about it like this. If wireless charging is absolutely so important to you, get a Pixel 6 for $499. That's a $50 difference between the 6A. Very minimal that you're going to pay to get wireless charging and a glass body. And if you really got to go for broke, an additional $200 gets you everything that the Pro offers. $649 starting out with a Pro. Now, of course, if you go with like a 256 or not 256, 512 or higher in the Pro series, then yeah, you're going to pay a little bit more. Yeah, it's not important to a lot of people, Mike, for sure. But there are some people who will just, I don't know. It just seems that a lot of like today we have shifted so much with how we review tech and how we talk about tech that the little things like refresh rate is enough for us to try and justify us saying we don't like it. You know, I know people flame the hell out of MKBHD for his reviews on the Pixel 6, and I get it. There are fellow Team Pixel friends. I'm not talking about the Team Pixel guys who get the phones from Google to review. I'm talking about anyone that's a big fan of Team Pixel. Some of you guys are going out there and just crying over the refresh rate of the phone, and it's just like, the refresh rate should not even matter. It should not. Okay? If you're going to say, well, I like to mobile game, then get a phone that was actually built specifically for mobile gaming. The Razer phone. Razer builds smartphones that's actually a handheld gaming console first and then a phone second. Right? Kind of like what Sony did with the PSP phone, right? You know, you slide your phone, slide up the display, and it reveals a gaming pad, not a QWERTY keyboard, but a gaming pad to play games from PlayStation. I know because my late friend, again, rest in peace, but my friend Alex, who passed away a couple years ago, he had the PlayStation phone. And when he used to come over and chill with me, he used to let me play on it. I thought the thing was so cool. But yeah, the Razer phones are gaming, handheld game console over smartphone. The 6A will do the job with gaming, and just like any phone, it's going to get. Oh yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, if that's what they want, first more than anything is a gaming phone, then get a gaming phone. The 6A is able to handle some games. Yeah, it's going to get warm. Same like with recording video. If you're recording in high resolution, like 4K, yes, it's going to get warm over time. It's meant to be a smartphone, a really, really intelligent smartphone. And that is, of course, with TensorFlow, that the Tensor chip utilizes in order to provide that experience that we get. The little subtle things, like in photography, the things that we kind of forget what's happening because you don't see it happening in front of your eyes when you snap that photo. But there's a lot of work happening on the Tensor chip the moment you hit that shutter button and you snap that photo of what's going on in background with AI being powered by the Tensor chip with TensorFlow to create that photo that you didn't have to play with manual settings to get a decent shot that's shareable on social media that people will like. Trust me, I posted a photo yesterday from the Pixel 5. I posted it on Instagram and I posted it on Vero. As I am on Vero, sharing photos on there and such. Vero has actually become what Instagram used to be before Instagram pretty much got flooded with reels and stories. So the old days of just, creating a profile that is your portfolio of photos to showcase your skills in photography, Vero is now that. And I'm on there and I shared a photo from the Pixel 5 and got a decent amount of likes in like the first 10 minutes. Usually on social media, at least for me, because I'm nobody special. So when I post a photo, I may get 3 likes within the first hour. And throughout the day, as people who follow me end up on Instagram and going through their feed, they find my photo. Oh, Tika posted a photo. That looks pretty cool. And they like it. In 24 hours, I could get like maybe 8 likes. Vero, I got 7 likes in under a minute. Anyways, I'm closing out on Instagram because it's giving me the countdown. It's at 10 seconds now. So those on Instagram, thanks for watching. Hit the heart to like this live stream. If you guys want me to do more, comment and tell me to do more. Until next time, peace. And Instagram is done. It's like live video paused. And let's see. T-Mobile. I gotta update the title to this after this live stream's over and put the T-Mobile 90-day free trial. I'm gonna type one-handed. And let's see. LTE. So anyways, yeah, chalk it up to that. I'm not ending it here on YouTube. It was just Instagram. You can only live stream for an hour. So I already hit that hour mark, and so it was going to cancel out my live stream no matter what. So I did an outro for Instagram. So it didn't seem like that. I was just like continuously talking my thoughts, and then it just killed off on there. That would be so rude to not let those who watch the replay on Instagram know that it was ending at that point. Which is, I mean, it really doesn't matter because I don't think anyone really watches the whole entire hour of the live stream that I do on Instagram. But just in case, you know. Let's see. Oh yeah. I just read that. Like I set up this live stream earlier. And after I was done setting it up and everything, and then I was just waiting, you know, to go live at the designated time, I was reading, and then The Verge posted on my Google feed and was like, told me all about it. So I was like, hey, let me add this in. That's where like the hidden subject on these live streams comes from. It's from something that I find right before I go on the live stream because I didn't plug it in when I was setting up the live stream and everything. So, but yeah, I think, you know, and then I really wish Restream, this platform, would connect to Instagram. So that would be great to have it all live stream from one spot. Because when I'm live streaming from this platform, I can live stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch simultaneously from here. Can't for Instagram. Yeah, so I have to pull out one of my phones and connect it to Instagram Live so they can see the same thing. Because there's some people that follow me on Instagram that don't follow me here on YouTube, right? I think right now on Instagram, I have like over 2,000 followers on Instagram. And some of them are just diehard Instagrammers. They don't come on YouTube. So they get to see the live stream because I'm live streaming on the mobile phone to Instagram. Finish typing out this title. Podcast. And let's share. Okay. So now it's going to update. Well, it's going to finish. I guess uploading. And yeah. And I don't want to see the Instagram reel because I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but like on TikTok and on Instagram, oh, gotta go, need to go back. All right, cool. Take it easy, man. Thanks for popping in. This guy, longtime person who's been watching my videos for years. So if I never personally thanked you, I'm thanking you right now. Thank you for coming in and watching the live streams and being interactive and everything. I really appreciate it. I think I should call it that, right? I finished on Instagram. Let's call it a day. Is there gonna be a live stream Saturday? More than likely. I just don't know what I'm gonna live stream about, but I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know then. But yeah, if you're a part of the replay crew, hashtag replay crew, and any of the subjects, leave me your thoughts on them. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. And I'll read the comments later. But until then, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Friday Junior. And see you guys Saturday. Also, thank you to getting the It's Mr. Pixel's YouTube channel up to 30 subscribers. We're currently sitting at 30. So thank you guys so much for subscribing to that channel, which is all dedicated to Google Pixel products. If you're not subscribed to it, go check it out. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, I didn't expect it to get to that. Slowly climbing. And I'll continue to post Pixel content on that channel for those who are interested in Pixels only. All right. Y'all take it easy. Be cool. Be safe.